Hey there, I hope you're all doing fantastic today. My name is Paul Malott. I am the co-founder of Automations 24, an automation agency located in South Carolina, United States, where we provide small, medium, and enterprise organizations with automation services that are integrated with AI and support all kinds of really cool uh, solutions to business functions. Today, I want to walk you guys through what I do for list building and lead generation using Sales Navigator, PhantomBuster, and WeConnect. And ultimately, these three tools, they all wrap together in workflows in Automations 24 that support a constant list building and constant outreach to business clients of ours. Now, if you're not familiar with Sales Navigator, it's a sub function or sub application of LinkedIn. And Sales Navigator is a really powerful tool for business to business. First and foremost, your initial cost for Sales Navigator is going to be roughly 79.99 a month, right? That's fairly expensive. And then add in the starter plan for Phantom Buster at 56 and WeConnector at or WeConnect.io at $69, and you've got yourself a little bit of a costly lead generation activity. However, when you consider the amount of ROI that can be generated from consistent outreach and the specificity of the target that you can create using Sales Navigator, I think it's a massive combination of tools that could be beneficial for anybody, really. Even those that are looking for jobs, right? So you can use this same methodology uh, to reach out to recruiters, for example, or you could use this methodology to reach out to and navigate to chief procurement officer or the hiring manager in particular that you're looking for. So in this case, I'm going to build a list for Automations 24, and the list is going to consist of, let's just do a general search. There's my handsome co-founder, Chad Smalley. Um, let's start by function. Let's say we want to find people in business development that are in uh, North America, and more specifically South Carolina. And what I do with Sales Navigator, what we're going to do is we're going to identify a characteristic of the target that we're reaching out to, and once we do that, we're going to take the list itself or the search query in Sales Navigator. We're going to put that into Phantom Buster. So right now, you can see we're already getting to a fairly good level. We have still 12 million results. 2,500 results is the max amount that you can scrape with Phantom Buster and LinkedIn, I believe, on a daily basis. Um, LinkedIn, I've noticed, has been chomping down on bot behavior. So start out slower, I suggest. You see here now we're still at 12 million, but let's go to owner partner in business development, and we'll just narrow it down to South Carolina. Still way, 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 way a lot of results. And again, the goal is to be as succinct as possible. And if I just keep bouncing around between these two, this is all the owners in every function in South Carolina. Let's go and see if we can find the self-employed folks in South Carolina. Now we have 111. I think this is a pretty good start for a list of folks that we could support in Automations 24. And the small business owner, the owner partner, they're generally the folks that have a harder time to get everything done because they're wearing all the hats. So my suggestion here is that we just plug along and use what we're given. So what I'm going to do is take this search result, and we're going to go into Phantom Buster. In Phantom Buster, it's basically a web scraping tool, and there's a lot of really powerful phantoms in here. And what I like to use the most. You can browse your phantoms and see what you can actually scrape from. And notice Google, right? So if you're using and trying to build a list from, let's say, a zip code, this could be a really good approach. But in this case, we're going to use Sales Navigator. And you can see some of the most popular use cases as well as the phantoms and flows. When you're looking to get a list of folks from the Sales Navigator export, the best way to do it is to put the list here, click that entitled Sales Navigator Export Search 1. See, I've done this a few times. Yeah, LinkedIn is detecting everything. Look, they detected my name. The next step in here is basically, again, keep your search to roughly 2,500. Avoid pissing LinkedIn off. I want to run this today. And although we only have 111, and here we go. What it's going to do is it's going to extract all of the contact information, the relevant information from LinkedIn, from the profiles that we selected using the Sales Navigator search. And from there, what we're going to do while this runs is we're going to check out WeConnect. And so for those of you not familiar with WeConnect.io, not the WeConnect of Volkswagen, WeConnect.io is a really powerful tool for LinkedIn outreach. And when combined with the Sales Navigator searches of before and PhantomBuster to pull out the list, you can build really cool campaigns. So if you wanted to build your own outreach campaign, okay, what this is LinkedIn connection messages essentially, and then a series of connection messages that are sent via LinkedIn to the targeted list. And if you want to add a new one, essentially what you do here is you go into add new and smart sequence. So you build your sequence similar to cold emailing or something you do in Clavio, uh, any CRM really, where you're starting to warm up your leads, you're starting to build that relationship with them. You do that, and that's the smart sequence here. And essentially, what we have is a LinkedIn search URL. But if you're not savvy enough, or sorry, not savvy is not the right word because well, we're all savvy here. But when I take paste those results in, what I really need is the PhantomBuster result to process in order for me to take and put in the list, because you can actually upload the list. In this case, when you're looking for a list from a search result, this is what you can do. And when you push continue down here, you'll see that, enter a campaign name. I'm sorry, let's call it campaign. I'll come down here and we'll enter the list name, owners in South Carolina. Okay, and then now we have the opportunity here to like build the campaign out, right? So we took the list that we built in Sales Navigator. We're now extracting that list. Ooh, we have extracted it. Very cool. So once you get the list, you can see you have here the results. And the results, they show and display in a CSV file. So I'll download those results. And what it looks like in the CSV is something like this. And basically, as you can see, it pulls all kinds of really good information. And when you think about it in the form of a workflow or an automation, there's so much you can build just from this file alone in this lead to start enriching um, the content and enriching your personalization outreach for folks. So you can see here you have things like most important first, last name, their profile URL, where they're at, what they're doing, the industry they're in. You can see how long they've been there. It's essentially almost every available piece of information that's on LinkedIn and Sales Navigator. It's quite phenomenal, actually. So from there, though, that list that we've built, we downloaded the results. We've added it in to WeConnect, and now we're going to build a campaign. And in general, you want to warm up your following, especially if you're not doing something like this right now. It's very important to start and click a warm up button. Let me show you this real quick. When you go into settings, and you go to LinkedIn settings down here, An account warm up, you want to click this as yes, absolutely, especially if you're just starting, because what it'll do is it'll randomize and slowly warm up your accounts such that you're not necessarily or unnecessarily creating any red flags for LinkedIn while you're doing this, or while the bots, for lack of a better term, are scraping the site and uh, creating the outreach messages. So when I go back to the campaign, here you can see we have the new campaign, and we're still building it, right? So back to continue. And on step one, again, I highly recommend you warm them up. So let's, for the first thing, just visit the profile page, right? The second thing, I highly suggest that we maybe like a post, and we'll wait a few days, 3 days, we'll say. And at this point, we're going to invite to connect. When we invite to connect, essentially what we're going to do is use ChatGPT, and we're going to ask ChatGPT to please rewrite a series of linked in outreach messages, 3 in total. These messages are intended to build a relationship with B2B contacts, but we connect dot please write the messages for a 24. And you may want to tailor it a little bit and so on, but for the purposes of getting this, so here's the connection request, getting this done, right? What you'll see here. See, we'll have to correct that, right? But in the GPT, because came across your work at A24, that doesn't work very well. So let's try this. Please stop. Please rephrase our reaching out as 24 seeking to work and develop our relationships. We'll wait for that to populate here. I did. There we go. So we're going to redo that. As we patiently wait for our GPT, I will again talk to you a little bit about pricing. So it's painful, right? I mean, paying for anything, but lead generation is probably the number one, number two thing that most organizations ask about. And the reality is, you got to pay to play with most of these things, right? Most of the effective systems. And I find that the combination of Sales Navigator, WeConnect, and Make.com and PhantomBuster, they're all together, packaged together, are very effective, because you essentially have begin to build a agentic AI system with the workflows in Make.com that allow you to continually feed your Sales Navigator and PhantomBuster, continually produce results, and therefore you're constantly adding to effective lists that you've created in WeConnect. So I jumped around a little bit here. I apologize for that. My GPT probably needs to be re-kicked in the booty. Which next go find trust. Please redo again. No, let's see. No, request no. Please redo and where the message is from a 24 to other business. Yeah, forgive my spelling, guys. It's not that great. Well, here you go. Here's one, just one we can use now. We'll ask this now. Please write 2 additional messages that are intended as fun messages. Okay, so let's take that first one. I've already copied it. Let's copy that and let's work with it and reconnect. And it's always polite to say hello, right? So hi, and then you need to add a variable here. So when you add the variable here, you're going to go in here, first name. Yep. Okay, great. First name, add variable. Yep. Can I do it? Yes, I can. Great. And then here we go. Thanks. That easy, right? And save. That's after 1 day after we've liked a post. Then if they accept, we can say, sweet, we're going to visit their profile again. We won't be too greedy. We're going to wait a few days. But if they don't accept, we're going to do nothing. Save. Okay. And then now you kind of build it out from here, right? So if they've accepted it, let's do this. Let's send a follow-up message. Let's see what this follow-up message is. uh, for connecting. I hope you're doing well. I wanted to reach out again. Now, there is a limit. I'm not copying all this on purpose because there is a limit to the amount of characters, right? So I'm just going to start with this and see where it takes us. Oop, back into WeConnect. And now we're going to do again, hello. We're going to say first name. We're going to click that button behind my head. And say rock and roll. Save. And if it's not accepted, we're just gonna slowly again do nothing. And then finally, for the last message here, my recommendation is to tailor these messages obviously and add your own flair to the message, right? It's important that you personalize it as much as possible. I think with everyone's going to be doing something like this in the future, and if in the near future, don't get me wrong, and if you're going to start doing it, it's important that you do it properly, right? So as I go through here and just copy and paste the same message, and my word to the wise here is don't do that yourself, right? Give them a different message, give them a different reason to reach out. And finally, one of the things you do want to do here, we'll send the final follow-up message. They've accepted it. We're just going to reach out one last time. Want to reach out final time. And then don't, after this, if they don't accept after those 5 days, then you're going to just withdraw the invite. That's okay. Not everybody needs to be your friend. Okay, so once from here, all good. Now we're moving on to the next phase. I recommend you limit your daily actions again in the beginning, and you absolutely want to randomize those actions. Don't send an invite without a custom message if you can unclick it. And definitely exclude, if you're going to make multiple campaigns, which you'll see I have, definitely exclude other contacts from that campaign. And let's exclude contacts with less than 500 connections. Why are we doing that? Basically because they're probably not using LinkedIn. And the same thing with exclude contacts with those without a profile picture. Keep link tracking and open tracking on. And generally, the default schedule is okay. It's like Monday through Friday, normal working hours, right? And I'd suggest after that, you just keep moving forward. So kick your first campaign off, launch it, push the launch button, and then monitor. I hope you guys all have a great day. Thank you.